Welcome back to Session 4 of the JA Economics for Success program. The materials that are needed for today's activity are once again the table tents, the Shopper Challenge sheets, and the Savvy Shopper bank cards. This activity is all about being a savvy shopper, and it's challenging the students to think about the difference between credit and debit, and when we should use it, what are the pros, the cons, the advantages and disadvantages of each type. The students are going to have the opportunity to kind of think about, what did we do last time? They all got occupations, we talked about budgeting, so you can link that conversation into them thinking about, okay, well, how are we actually going to purchase those needs and wants that we had budgeted for in the previous activity? Ask the students, as noted in the talking points, to talk a little bit about ways in which their parents pay for things. And then go into talking a little bit about what do they know about the difference between credit and debit. There is a section that provides a little icebreaker that's the true or false game. And what the students can do is, as you read a statement, they can give you a thumbs up if they think the statement is true, and they can give you a thumbs down if they think the statement is false. These will allow you not only to keep that conversation interactive, but it will allow you the opportunity to fold in some of the key topics regarding debit and credit. You'll also want to note that there are some additional talking points regarding interest and a time for you to share some of your personal experiences with these various payment types. The actual activity is going to allow the students to explore more about the advantages and the disadvantages of these two types of payment. So you're going to split the students into pairs, and each pair is going to work together for this activity. Each pair, first of all, needs a Savvy Shopper bank card. So the first thing you want to do is get them into pairs, and then each pair needs one of these sheets. What you want to do is talk whole class through some of the content on this card, having various students read portions along the way and creating discussion about it. Once you have that discussion, you then want to hand out one Savvy Shopper Challenge card to each pair. So they are going to use this amongst the two of them. So what you're going to do is you are going to give the students 10 minutes to see how much of this challenge card they can complete in the allotted time. The first person is going to have 5 minutes to read questions to the other person, and the other person can answer. And there's a place right here where they can put if they think it's a credit or a debit. And they can reference the Savvy Shopper bank card throughout this activity as well. After 5 minutes, you're going to have the students change roles, and you're going to give the other student this challenge card, and they are going to ask the remainder of the questions, or as many as they can, to the other person to answer whether they think it's a credit or a debit card payment. And just note that sometimes it's actually both, and so to let the students know, sometimes it's one, sometimes it's the other, or sometimes it's both. After 10 minutes of gameplay, you want to bring it back whole group and have the opportunity to go through these various questions. Now there are 50 questions, so in order to get through them all, you're going to want to make sure that you keep this conversation kind of at a quick pace, but also make sure that you spend enough time or keep enough time for you to go through them. So the scoring is that the students get 3 points for each correct answer, and if the question is highlighted in yellow, they get 5 points. The book also indicates that students can get bonus points on the yellow highlighted questions, that if they share, they can get 3 times the points with a total of 15. Now, I anticipate that most students will want to get the extra points. So maybe instead of allowing every group the opportunity for every yellow highlighted question, you might say that they can choose up to 3 questions that they want to try to get extra points on. And that way you don't have quite as many to go through each time you hit a yellow highlighted question. Once you go through that portion of the activity, allow the students to share any additional ideas or questions that they might have regarding credit and debit. And then, if you have time in the summary and review, it challenges the students to come up with 2 truths and a lie regarding credit or debit cards. So what they can do, if you have time, a fun way to end this activity is for them to think about what are 2 truths and what is an untruth about credit, and really encourage them to be creative in what the untruth is. And they can write those right on the front of their Savvy Shopper bank cards, and as time allows, you can actually have them share those with the class, mix them up, and have the class decide which one is the untruth. And that can just create some additional fun in solidifying the knowledge that they've gained in today's activity. Enjoy session 4.